My husband keep eating the meal his work wife prepared over mine. I said I will not cook for him anymore. Hear me out. My husband, Jesse 31, has been bringing home meals that his female co-worker, Nellie, cook for him. Now I'm not the best cook, and Jesse's made it clear, but he still eats what I cook every day. What I noticed with Nellie was that she tends to take every opportunity to point out how weak and tasteless my cooking is. Jesse would say nothing, except steer the conversation towards something else they both relate to, while I'm sitting there wallowing in my misery thinking about what she said. Also, she once asked what was another chore I was good at, and Jesse said ironing his suits. She in response joked about having him send her a suit of his, so he could see how good she is at ironing too. I rolled my eyes hard, but at least Jesse agreed that was weird. Last week, Jesse came home with a new meal she cooked. I told him I already cooked dinner and asked what he was going to do with the meal. He told me he was going to eat it for dinner. Not gonna lie, I was getting a bit irritated, and he must have had noticed, because he said he promised Nellie he'd eat hers for dinner and that she asked him to take a pic of the empty plate later to confirm that he'd actually eaten it. I was baffled, like completely baffled at this. I told him one thing and one thing only. Told him that if he chose to eat Nellie's meal over the dinner I cooked, then this would be the last time I cook for him. He started moaning about how I was being unfair and putting him in a rough place. He stalled and didn't give a clear answer, till I saw him walk past me later when I set the table and prepared dinner, and put her meal in the microwave. I felt so awful, I almost cried. I then told him that from now on out, I won't cook for him anymore since he made his choice. I obviously pissed him off because he went off on me calling me childish and pathetic to make this about my ego. I got up from my chair and told him I owed him nothing and that he made his decision and so did I. He snapped and said that this was ridiculous and that Nellie was just doing a nice thing for him, while as my behavior was disgraceful and disgusting. He then went into the bedroom, and I rushed after him, but he shouted,
"Leave me the freak alone!"
Then proceeded to shut the door and hasn't been speaking to me after that. His mom knew about the argument and called begging me to be more patient and not make any decisions I might regret later. She agreed that Nellie was overstepping and firmly believes she's the problem, and so I shouldn't be hard on her son. But mother-in-law is incredibly biased, meaning in her eyes, her son is a saint who can do no wrong. So that's that. I feel like I overreacted and really messed it up when I pushed him like that. Am I the a-hole?
I looked through my GF's phone the other night and I regret it. The other night, my girlfriend fell asleep next to me, and she left her phone under my pillow. She turned over the other way, and I usually don't look through her phone, but in a moment of weakness, I picked it up and began to look through her messages. I typed my name into the search bar on iMessage and saw some really messed up messages about me between her and her friends. Recently, we had an argument and she texted her friends saying she could find another BF in 2 minutes. She even texted her best friend a few weeks before that saying she is way out of my league and proceeding to say,
"I know it's shallow, but it's true, lol."
I did read some more stuff she tells her friends about me after we have arguments or disagreements, but I'll stop right there. Honestly, it really hurts to see one of the people I love most talk about me that way. It makes me feel like she does not really love me for who I am or like she is settling for me. It hurts even more knowing that I would never talk about her or say anything similar about her to my friends. I'm thinking of breaking up with her.
Am I the a-hole for having my daughter take her sister's test? I have 2 daughters in high school. Sam is an A student and Emma is a B and C student. Sam has basically been making fun of Emma for her lower grades. We punish her when it happens, but she goes back to it every time. Now the difference between the 2 girls is that Sam takes the general classes where Emma takes the college classes. For example, Sam took biology as her science and Emma took college physics too, so very different. Summer is here and the final grades came in. Sam got all A's and when she saw she did better, she started the I am smarter comments again. I had enough at this point. I grabbed one of Emma's old tests. It was a geometry test since Sam took geometry this year and sat her down and had her do it. Long story short, she was in tears and then I explained again how grades don't measure how smart you are, that she is in much easier classes compared to Emma. I think it finally got through to her. My wife was informed of what happened before she came home. And she was pissed about how I could do that to Sam. She took her to get ice cream to make up for it while me and Emma are still at home. Edit for those wondering, we have talked to her multiple times. We have tried to get the bottom of it. Her answer is she doesn't think it is a big deal. I took Emma to her favorite restaurant. Filled in my wife with what actually happened and not the story Sam told. We are going to have a big talk later. But she basically said on text she messed up. Not to mention when Sam was calmer she got a clearer story and realized she went off the handle.